Good afternoon. After the parasites managed to disconnect us from the wisdom and science of our forefathers, they themselves base their practical lives and belief system still on that very ancient science, this time applied to trap and deceive, and that is how we reached here. Under the pretext of beholding the curiosities of Mother Nature, they are actually extending their invitation to their satanic peak moment, their bloody sacrifice, which will take place most likely on 8th of April, when we have a total solar eclipse in some parts of the world. An event that our forefathers knew very well is nothing else but opening wide the gates of hell. And not only the total eclipse, this day has been long awaited since years by the incarnated devils, because it will be a very rare conjunction of a couple of factors, the eclipse and then this comet. Again, an event known very well across ancient cultures to be the herald of wars and major disasters. In a broader sense, we are all incarnated particles of the Supreme Lord, and the way that happens practically for us, the residents of Earth, is through the sun. That is the verdict of the Vedic wisdom. A lot has been published why, in Vedic times, they knew science much better than us. Not only earthly life manifested from the sun in some faraway past, but we depend on the solar energy, and particularly a type of it which we do not directly perceive and we don't know in our modern terms, to sustain our body and mind and soul in every second. And for that reason, when there is a solar eclipse, immediately people fall victims of sickness much more than in other times. To understand how and why that is so is far beyond the superficial modern man, as it is registered by the movements of the pendulum. Read the text on the screen. It affects even the very fabric of time. That's why I decided to make this short compilation of Vedic wisdom with which you can protect yourself during the total upcoming eclipse. Total solar eclipses are not that common, especially considering that they're visible over a very small portion of the Earth when they occur. And luckily, their malevolent effects spread predominantly on the part of the Earth where the eclipse is actually visible. And when I say visibility, this has nothing to do with the density of clouds visibility. I mean visibility as an astrological event happening possibly even above the clouds, above a given geological area. This is an interactive diagram showing the lands which will be affected during the upcoming eclipses. And then on this page you can enter your exact town and it will calculate for you when is the beginning and the end of eclipse, because you will need to know these timings if you want to protect yourself. If there will be neither total nor partial solar eclipse above your particular area, then you don't need to take any precautions. While the people in the most affected areas, I would highly recommend them to do so, especially the more vulnerable people, like for example pregnant women. If they go out of the house during the period of this couple of hours of total eclipse, they will have a defective baby. So here are some Vedic tips on minimizing the malevolent effects of the event. One should not drink or eat anything starting 2-3 hours before the actual eclipse time and ending 2 or 3 hours after it ends. All the other rules can be applied loosely in the hours around the eclipse, but as far as food, it should be followed precisely. And if one really needs to drink water beforehand, one can prepare water mixed with sesame seeds. That is the only water which, for those who are weak, is allowed, only for them, is allowed during the eclipse. Not only one should not cook during this time, but also any food which has been cooked before that should be discarded, thrown away. It cannot be eaten after the eclipse. After the eclipse is over, one is advised to take shower and wear all fresh clothes top to bottom. One is not advised to take decisions during this inauspicious time and also start new beginnings in every respect. Indeed, on that day, the best is to simply stay at home. It is a must for pregnant women, but also for everybody else is highly recommended. It is also forbidden to cut or dig anything with scissors, like even leaves of something or pieces of wood or even stitching clothes. Other activities also forbidden during this short period of a couple of hours is sex, going to bathroom and sleeping. One is not advised to open locks or wear masks, including all types of makeup. Total eclipses have profound effects on the destiny of the planet, and these effects, they build up as the eclipse approaches. With every hour and every day that we are closer, it will be more and more malevolent, and afterwards it will be months as the effects linger to disappear, maybe in half a year completely. Half a year because in general in India it is considered that it is not good to get married some 6 months after every total eclipse. And it is not that difficult to figure out that these Satanists, who are absolutely crazy for astrology, will be taking maximum advantage of this major celebration for them. They will be surely riding the wave they always did during the previous eclipses. But this time they feel extra blessed by their horned god, so-called god, because he sent them 3 red kafirs just on time for their grand, horrible sacrifice to commence. The sacrifice which will open their way, give them green light for their short-lived world domination. Most likely they will do it at this time. Their excitement has no boundaries. Their broadcasting preparations and rehearsals for the upcoming sacrifice, it's a major milestone for them. And as far as the Vedic tradition, doing any offering or a ritual for the benevolent god during eclipse is out of question. These are unclean times of sickness, and that's why the demons are organizing. I mean, many people will be traveling internationally, traveling across the continent to go to a spot where they will observe the evil direct in the eyes. And evil is even reciprocating. It is sending its so-called devil comet. In Brihat Samhita, which is part of the Vedas, the different comets are categorized, and this one, the devilish, is almost certainly in the category of evil omens. And not only the eclipse and the devil comet together, at the very same time, there are two major malefic planets, Mars and Saturn. They are in the West, it is called parade position. In Vedic astrology, it is called planetary war because they are very, very near to each other. And when they are both malefic, it doesn't matter who will win the war. It is always bad for those who are below that conjunction on Earth. And while the various planetary positions are usually interpreted in a different way from different angles in the different astrology systems of the East and the West, when it comes to this particular conjunction, it is highly negative in pretty much all astrological systems. I noticed that in India, the Mahatmas, they would usually know when is the exact date of the next total eclipse in their land, even if it is after years. And the reason for that is that they know that these times are particularly beneficial for those who want to attain mystic powers or just purify themselves faster, because not only evil gives much more fruit when it is done during these timings, the exact timings of the eclipse calculated for your particular town, but also chanting of Vedic mantras is also multiplied, the benefit, by, according to some sources, even 1,000 times. The mastering of many Vedic mantras is said to happen only during these eclipse times. Otherwise, the human life is too short. By the time you master the mantra and you start doing miracles with it, you already die. And these are some practical considerations in terms of mantras for those who are not from Hindu background. And I apologize that they have put tons of advertisements, an unbelievable amount of ads on this video. Before, they used to do it more when one has a copyright claim under the excuse that the other person is getting paid, but now they are putting them just everywhere without any explanation. I have never been a part of their paid advertising program, and this video has no copyright claims. But under the circumstances, I'm very happy that I can deliver somehow or other still any content on YouTube. Probably that will not last long because they have already started voting on this European program of internet IDs. So only people with such an ID will be able to post. And most likely that will be the end of the NewEarth channel because very likely these IDs will be backed by biometric data, which I find unacceptable for those who do not want to take the mark of the beast. And getting back to the topic at hand, God has given bonus not only to the demons this time, eclipse and a comet together. For those who plan to turn it into something beneficial, they have the eclipse and then Navadurga, Navaratri, starting on the next day. The 9 days of Navaratri are the special period during which it's much easier to get the blessings of the benevolent Mother Goddess. This type of meditation is also highly recommended for this short gap of the solar eclipse. Don't miss the chance.